Our next panel shall be discussing aligning innovation and sales, propelling growth from idea to market success. Please join me as I welcome the moderator for this panel session, G. Chandrashekhar, economist, senior editor and policy commentator, independent member, SEBI-CDAC. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, please, for Mr. Chandrashekhar. Welcome, sir. Sir, I request you to please take the middle seat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, the front and center. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our panelists for this discussion. Kishore Tota, Director, Shopping Experience, Amazon. A round of applause. Yes, sir. Mr. Lavneesh Gupta, Group Head, Bancassurance, HDFC Life. Welcome, Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gopi Thangavel, Senior Vice President, IT, Reliance Industries. Mr. Thangavel has not yet joined us, but will be here in just a few minutes. And Mr. Satish Satyarthi, CIO, Eureka, Forbes. A round of applause for Mr. Satyarthi. Welcome, sir.
Are we ready? Okay. Awesome. Such a delight to be part of this event. I am no stranger to this forum. ET Edge has quite often invited me to either speak or be a moderator, or I'm delighted. I am no expert. Let me make that disclosure upfront. I am a journalist and a specialist generalist, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have a fantastic topic for this session. And we have an absolutely elite panel to share their ideas with all of us. And the theme of the talk is about innovation and sales. Okay. Now, as someone who's been tracking business and has been a writer, editor of a newspaper, particularly I'm associated more with the food business of India, I must say there are several businesses which operate in a legacy ecosystem. There's a legacy given, whether it is government policies, standards, services, regulation, they operate in a legacy ecosystem. But there are also new age businesses which fortunately have no legacy ecosystem. They create their own legacy. And then we have some stalwarts representing that new age business as far as we are concerned. Now, my sense again is that these new age businesses are a lot more amenable to innovation than those businesses operating in the legacy ecosystem. I'm not saying they don't, they will not be able to innovate, but the ability to innovate will be constrained by some entrenched interests and entrenched legacy of that kind of business. Food business, for example, is one of them. And therefore, innovation becomes a lot more easy. It comes a lot more easily to those businesses which are in what I call new age business. The point that I want to make is that technology, for new age businesses, technology is a great what should I say, aid or support. And I've often said, technology is your servant. You need to use it wisely. Technology is not your master. Don't make technology your master and you become the servant. No. Technology is your servant and use that technology. You master that technology and get the best out of technology. And this is what some of the new age businesses are doing. I'm quite delighted. When we talk of innovation, I have two sentences to share, and about which I've spoken innumerable times. One is, what is innovation? Looking at familiar things from unfamiliar angles, right? You need to look at familiar things from unfamiliar angles, which would give you ideas about how to innovate, whether it's a product innovation, process innovation, marketing innovation, whatever it be. And second, a good innovator has the ability to reach further into the customer's world than what his competitors are able to do. If you are able to reach your customer's world better and have insights into that thinking process of the customer than your competitor is able to do, then I'm sure you will get ideas for innovation. I think these are a couple of statements I thought I must make. We will not go into this further. I am now going to first invite from, sorry, I should get this name correctly. I should invite from Amazon, Kishore Tota from Bangalore. He's a director of shopping experience. And I don't have to tell you anything about Amazon. All of us know how innovatively they have entrenched themselves in Indian business and, of course, across the world, particularly in the US. Therefore, I'll request Kishore over the next 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, share his experience, what innovation this company has done, how it has converted that innovation into sales, and if you want to share some management lessons with this wonderful audience. Kishore, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting us and giving me the opportunity to share some stories maybe and some of the experiences. So it's been 11 years for Amazon India. Amazon India is a business in India, but Amazon has been in India for more than 20 years now, and we've been building, innovating on behalf of Amazon in India and taking those innovations worldwide. So India has been a hub for us, and last 11 years has been awesome and thrilling. So if I look back at certain dimensions of our journey in India, the first thing that everybody is fairly familiar with is our shopping business. We have over 100 million customers buying from Amazon annually. And for that, we had to innovate a lot around the technology infrastructure that needed to be built, all the way from the shopping app to the speed at which things get delivered, the logistics network, the operational framework, the ecosystem innovation in terms of partnerships and so on. As a result of that, as I mentioned, more than 100 million customers, more than 2 million packages delivered every single day. And beyond that, we enabled a lot of the ecosystem, especially sellers and small businesses, to digitize. So more than 6 million small businesses have been digitized. And that led to sellers being able to sell on Amazon, both in India as well as worldwide. So cumulatively, we were able to create $8 billion in exports because sellers list here, but they can sell on any Amazon marketplace worldwide. So that's a great enablement of taking India to the rest of the world as well. We employ directly and indirectly over 1.3 million, 3 million employees in India. So job creation is a big deal. And in addition to that, we are glad that customers and India thinks about Amazon and loves Amazon in multiple ways. So beyond shopping, I'm sure many of you are familiar with our Prime Video business. There was a lot of innovation. When we first started, there were a lot of questions around how will you stream something in a low latency, high throttled environment, bandwidth throttled environment. Device configurations were around, in those days when we started, about 8 MB was the storage. Now we have devices with 8 GB in terms of 8 GB was the storage. Now you have memory of that size, right? So being able to figure how do we deliver a buffer-free, now you don't even think about it. It's so natural because there's a lot of enablement and infrastructure improvement as well. But we had to think about how do we deliver a buffer-free experience in those days. So there was a lot of work in delivering those. But what we see now, more than 60 originals like Mirzapur and Panchayat, which is my favorite, and tens of millions of customers watching Prime Video every single day. Beyond that, we have the payments business. Because it's a completely India-built business. We don't have a similar Amazon Pay business in the rest of the world. This was built because we needed a lot more diverse payment methods in India. UPI is a huge enabler, and having that integrated into our shopping app meant that faster payment experience as well as seamless payment experience, and as well as the diversity of payment methods that we have in terms of different cards and net banking, etc. It's not common when we see, especially for an organization like ours, that is very much used to in other established markets where payment methods are fairly consistent and almost singular. It's mostly a credit environment. Here we have a huge distribution. So having a thriving payment business gives us the ability to do shopping even better. And I don't know how many of you are aware, Amazon AWS is a huge enabler of the startup ecosystem as well as the digitization journey that India is making. Millions of customers on Amazon AWS. We're going to invest another $17 billion by 2030. That makes it up to like 23 billion invested in India standalone for the AWS infrastructure. That I feel like is the backbone of invention. So that I don't know how many of you are involved with IT systems. 20 years back, for me to set up an IT system, a server in India meant that I had to buy it in San Jose, ship it to one of the offices over there, configure it. The whole journey of starting a website would be almost 90 days because you had to do all of these vertical stuff. Now you could easily do it, not exaggerating, in 90 seconds, right? So it's huge transformation in how multiple businesses are able to invent on top of that infrastructure. Finally, we have over 100,000 employees in India. So broadly super happy with the journey for the last 10, 12 years that Amazon is known as a fairly integral part of Indian lives for hundreds of millions of people in India. So it's been a fulfilling journey filled with a ton of invention around it. And happy to go through any of the details or specific examples you would like me to cover.
Awesome, awesome. Isn't it an amazing journey? 100 million customers, I think mind-boggling number. Thank you very much. If I'm not asking for insider information, can you share if you have any innovative ideas in the pipeline that we can see in the next 6 months to 1 year? Again, I think it's if it's confidential, you can say sorry, but I'm okay.
No, I can tell you.
As a journalist, I need to probe and get my breaking news. Okay, yeah, please.
Absolutely. I might disappoint you on the breaking news portion. But I can share some of the dimensions and thought process that we use to introduce new services. So maybe I can introduce some of the newer ones that we launched that some of you may be aware or not. So I could cover that, as well as just how we think about invention, especially in India. One of the biggest things that we have been working on in the last 4 or 5 years has been to address the heterogeneous needs of India, which is India is different, not just from other countries, but India is different. Every 150 kilometers you travel, it's a different culture, different language, different style, different preferences, different product needs. Everything is very different. From that point, how do we build a service that is highly relevant for this heterogeneous India was one of the challenges we have taken. And the way we have at least synthesized is based on the customer needs. I don't want to read through all of them, but one of the primary things is being able to deliver in multiple languages, right? So language experience currently is in 8 different languages. And we have been an AI ML company since inception and pioneered a lot of the AI related programs. And for example, the recommendations you get has been there for 20 years, led by various levels of sophistication of AI implemented into it. But our language is going through the same thing. With Gen AI, our language translation becomes more and more natural, right? We also create automated videos. So customers in India especially prefer to watch rather than read. Our product pages could be seen as long and informative, but a lot of textual information. So we synthesize that information using a lot of Gen AI tools to create videos on the fly, and they're a lot more naturalistic. They look like human-created videos with all the information that you would be looking for. We also partner with a lot of creators in the country, because currently that is a trend that we are seeing hugely changing in terms of opinion makers and people that are able to drive and influence product purchase are not just celebrities, but also all the different influencers and thought leaders in that space. So we partner with over 12,000 influencers, and we have various programs in that area.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. There are close to 700 districts in our country. And therefore, Amazon will possibly have 700 different nuanced approaches to marketing their products and services. Awesome. Thank you very much. I must now turn to Lavneesh Gupta. He's a group head, the Bancassurance, HDFC Life. And I don't have to tell anything about HDFC. The name speaks for itself. And I'm sure Lavneesh is going to share with us over the next several minutes his own experience, what innovations his HDFC Life has brought in, and how has it impacted the lives of people, the customers, and anything else that you think you should share. Please.
Good morning to everyone here, and thank you, ET Now and Mr. Chandrashekhar. I think a wonderful opportunity for each one of us to exchange thoughts and ideas. I think what Kishore mentioned about Amazon is very transactional and tangible, and just before the panel we got to meet each other. And I was praising about the fact that the shopping experience, every household, and if you go back, it used to be Snapdeal, Flipkart, and now Amazon. So that's very tangible product, and when you come to HDFC Life, it's very intangible as a product. And here comes a question: what is the innovation here? And I think that's where all the organization and the teams and people have to start thinking differently. And Mr. Chandrashekhar mentioned about familiar and unfamiliar. So every organization in today's scenario, and including HDFC as a group and as well as HDFC Life, we have embarked on the journey in terms of all the processes of looking innovation at every aspect, whether it is product. Frankly, in the last 5 to 7 years of journey, in the life insurance space, HDFC Life has created product innovation at every stage. And that is not possible without, you need to get into the consumer research, understand what's the need of the customer. Life insurance is a very long-term product by nature, but there are definitive needs and what the customer is crying for and what do you solve for. And in these last 5 to 6 years, we have been in very, very specific, whether it is in the protection, whether it is in taking care of the retirement, or whether it is looking at the guaranteed space in the product innovation which we've done, or giving immediate income. I think all the 4 facets, HDFC Life has been an innovator. In terms of catering, that could have been only possible by looking at the consumer research, the thoughts, the group discussions, looking at the feedback from the sales, looking what the pulse of the market is, how the market movements are happening, and what can be catered, which makes profitability even for the organization, for the salesperson to sell, and even for the customer to buy. And frankly, that helped us in increasing our ticket sizes by 2x, increasing our top line year-on-year CAGR by about 18 to 20%. Frankly, that's one of the product innovation leg which really helped us in terms of doing that business. And the base and the size of the business remains close to about 30,000 crores a year. So having said that, it's very important that you keep on doing this innovation, not once in 5 years, but I think the consumer expectation, being the leader in the product innovation space, have to be almost every 6 months or a year. So you have to go back, like what you have in the research field, look at going back to the drawing board, look at the research, come back and then innovate on that side. I think that's one part of the product innovation which we look at. The second aspect, which is very important, and mind you, before even COVID happened, I think a lot of technology, the digital legs of the journeys, and which was done for the salesperson or for the person at the consumer end. I think that's where we innovated much before COVID, in terms of our sales processes and the consumer journeys. Much more evolved in terms of completing it much before it is actual the need of the the COVID hit us, and that time it really needed everything to be on the digital platform. And just to give you a simple example, life insurance, as I understand, and most of you in the room also would appreciate that it's one of the most complex product. Neither being in the industry, you can understand every complexity of each product, let alone the salesperson on the ground can even explain and go what is the actual requirement when he deals with a customer. To that extent, when you have to go and approach a customer, you need to know, and when you do a conversation with the customer, you get to know the need, but you need to know the age. Does he have any problems medically? Does he, what's his income? Which place does he live in? All those factors build into building what the life cover can be for the individual. Now, you don't expect the person on the ground, which is the lowest in the strata in the hierarchy, to be so intelligent to do that calculation in front at the point of the sale. I think that's where we worked in terms of working with the offer, which could be digitally enabled for the salesperson, which is like an instant pre-approved sum assured, which could be given at the point of sale. And that really became a hit. The reason being because it makes the person in the last in the hierarchy to be having that authority to give that the availability of giving a solution at that moment. Why I'm highlighting this is because this helped us in terms of increased interest for the most boring product for the customer in terms of his last of the buying journey. And this innovation was important because it helped us in increasing the leads from the field by 30% and also increase in the business automatically. And also the customer journey becomes much more easier to execute at the last mile. The third example, which I'll, after what I mentioned about product and sales process innovation, is the service process innovation. I don't know how many of you know, I'm sure quite a few of you would have bought a pension policy down the line. And when you retire, you need to provide that you're alive, right, to get the pension from the insurance company. So most of the people have to walk into the branch and, give a life certificate or send by courier or wait for it finally to know that the insurance company realizes that you're live and then you're being paid the pension. I think those are the journeys which were made very effective in terms of the, the senior citizens and super senior citizens to make it more driven through video or through the digital journeys, which are UR based or bit.ly links, which help them to, communicate faster. And they became our word of mouth to all the policies which we could sell further. So I think every element of this, whether it is product, sales process, or I think service, whether it is a tangible or an intangible product, I think it makes a lot of sense for each organization to look for these innovation. And if you're not in it, I think somebody else will take over. Like Mr. Chandrashekhar mentioned, that you need to be always continuously innovating, otherwise you become history. So I thought we'll take up questions down the line, sir.
Thank you, Lavneesh. Very quick question before I go to Satish. The market that you have is substantially underexplored, in my view. So, do you propose to have a certain disruptive marketing approach, or you're going to do more of the same thing? What would be your approach? And if it's going to be disruptive, can you give this audience an indication of what that disruption is going to be?
Yeah, so I think thank you for asking this question. I think the government and the regulator is anyways looking to make the 100 years make insure for India and reach out to every corner in the country. Possibly not every policy will reach us, but I think what we are looking is various platforms to reach the semi-urban rural markets in a very different format, looking at, products which can be linking to what they are capable of buying and putting it across. So the journeys have already started in that perspective in the last 1 year or so. Most of the insurance companies by regulator has given a specific state to penetrate fully. They've been given that objective and products have been made very easy in terms of either to reach out through the bank accounts or through individual group platform policies. We are looking at the ecosystems as simple as the dairy ecosystem, the supply chains which are helping people who are affinity, which are looking to buy the insurance policies to look at it. As I think the industry looks underpenetrated on a percentage of the GDP because it remains sub 4% since the last 20 years since the privatization has happened. But the GDP also, the growth rate is equivalent to make that penetration there. But having said that, I think all banks, insurance companies are running with that objective by reaching out either through digitally or through the product innovation and basis looking at the segmentation of markets with different products.
All right, Lavneesh, thank you very much for sharing this. Let me go to Satish Satyarthi, Chief Innovation Officer in Eureka Forbes. And I'm sure each one of us has some Eureka Forbes product in our house. Your thoughts on innovation and how do you convert those innovative ideas into higher sales for your company?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, sharing my thoughts, and it was really nice, hearing two co-panelists on innovation that is related to more intangible and also a bit tangible as well. So as we know that Eureka Force is very much known in India for last almost 40 years. We are into innovations per se. It's a very different journey than most of the modern age companies or innovations have been going through in India because of the explosion in innovation that is recently seen. We entered into the market 40 years back when nobody needed water purifier, nobody needed vacuum cleaner per se. And almost like even TV was not so much there in the market. At that time, we had to bring those innovations, and hence the entire approach to sales, entire approach to going to the market was very, very different. There were no concept of shopping malls or commercial streets where you can really display your product and people will come and see, have a look and buy. And that is the time when Eureka first started a concept of directly going door to door and sell those products, sell the propositions to the consumers. So it was not just innovation, but a lot of enablers were required for those innovations to go to the market at that time. And that is still one of the strengths that Eureka Force uses in the market till today. There are reasons behind that. Category, like water purifier is a processing machine. You need to get certain quality of water in and pure quality of water out. And hence, consumers have to appreciate that, understand the benefit, and then only they will buy. And hence, at that point of time, when water was almost taken for granted to be pure, whatever coming from well or whatever coming from tap, we used to directly consume. And that was the time when people were innovating on water purification process. Similarly, on vacuum cleaning. So even today, vacuum cleaners are not widely used in Indian context. At that time, it was impossible to sell to the market unless you really understand consumer insights. You showcase the product, you give the demo to the consumers directly at their homes. They will not appreciate the product. So Eureka Force journey has been extremely different and I would say inspirational in terms of creating a market. In my opinion, these kind of innovations which creates an industry has very long, let us say, journey and also has very widespread applications. Today also, even after 40 years, this innovation has not reached to the entire mass, which we might think. There were a lot of barriers to that, even in that time and even today. Water supply all the time were not available. Electricity was not available in majority of places. These are the things that have changed drastically in last 1 decade or so. And hence, opportunity is much more to innovate. In last just 1 year, Eureka Forbes has done plenty of, let us say, consumer insights-based innovation that has gone to the market, and that has been going to the market very recently, which are completely changing the paradigm. Uh, if you see our industry, especially in water purification, for example, the industry needs itself evolved as the entire country went through globalization, industrialization, and went through the green revolution. The quality of water that we started getting started changing, and hence the innovation also had to keep pace with that. But on top of that, it was never seen as a consumer product. So today, if you see the products which is there in last 20 years or 10 years, most of the products of purification process with a water purifier on the wall is generally hidden behind the cupboards, because they were not good enough to showcase in the kitchen. These were not inspirational product to showcase. In last 1 year, we launched innovations with a very slim technology, glass, front fascia, extremely good-looking aesthetic products, which we can be proud of showcasing in kitchen. Actually, that is changing as the interior of the design of kitchen itself. So that has become interior, I would say, showcase rather than just a water purifier. Same happened in air purification and vacuum cleaner. For example, in vacuum cleaning, we launched products which are extremely convenient to be used. During COVID, we actually learned a lot about consumer preferences, and consumers stayed at home much longer, and they had to take care of their own course at home, and hence it had to be very, very convenient and not just bulky looking, vacuum cleaner that you have to move around all the places. So a lot of evolution happened on robotics needs, as well as upright handheld devices for vacuum cleaning. In last 1 year, we really have grown a lot because of these innovations that has been launched in the market. One of them is zero bend, which basically allows you to work for longer with a vacuum cleaner without getting any bend or any bend related discomfort that you have to go through generally while cleaning ceiling or the floors. So these are small, let us say, insights which actually creates opportunity for innovation in a much bigger way. And these are very tangible ones as we speak, because these are robots, these are products that we directly deal with our own hands, and we consume some of the outputs in case of water purifier, where you get the experience throughout your life rather than just when you interact with the purification process with the appliances. So for me, I think one of the biggest enabler for sales is definitely innovation, but at the same time, this has to be extremely well supported with right strategy for go-to-market, right investment in advertisement and promotion to communicate basically the functions and features to the consumers or to the market. I've seen innovations that those have been great, but they did not hit the market well, and hence did not convert into growth, because the investment was not enough, or the right strategy for going to the market was not there. And hence it is equally important that innovation, if it is breakthrough, there has to be breakthrough also in the approach with which it goes to the market, the communication that goes to the market, and consumers have to appreciate and learn what are the benefits that I am getting. Most of consumers don't really know what they are missing, and that is where consumer insight comes into picture. Unless we understand their journey, we are not able to figure out what exactly innovation is needed. And once we identify that, even after addressing those needs and being innovative product in the market, consumers might not be aware of this gap, and hence the communication becomes equally important. Marketing becomes equally important, and not just sales. And that is what I wanted to connect, that innovation with growth is only possible if there is a right investment throughout, not only in finding consumer insight, but also creating innovation, which is perfectly addressing those consumer insights, but at the same time reaching out to the customer with the right go-to-market strategy and the advertisement and promotion, and which conveys to the customer what exactly was the gap, and hence we are addressing it. So in nutshell, I would say not only Eureka Forbes, otherwise also in consumer products, I have seen the market for last, let us say, more than a decade. Most of the innovation that really hit the market well and has really given the growth to the industry have been the ones which are very simple, very, very effective, and which are being missed by the consumer in mass scale. And that is where the maximum growth potential is there. But at the same time, there are products, there are solutions needed for a very niche segment where there is not sufficient business case to innovate. And that is where India has changed a lot in last, let us say, 1 decade or so. There is enough market for each of the niche segment where we can create the innovation to address a very small set of consumers, and still it can give really good growth potential. For example, today, or let us say till last year, the same Eureka Forbes water purifier, almost similar range, similar price range, is being used by some of the richest people in the country, and also some of the least, let us say, earners in the country. Now, you can imagine that means there is a huge market gap in terms of premium products, premium product that will go well within the kitchen and that will give some value-added, advantage to the consumers. Now, these were not being addressed for very, very long time. And that is what now we have started addressing. At the same time, at the bottom of the pyramid, there are huge set of consumers who cannot afford a water purifier, who cannot afford a vacuum cleaner. And for that, innovation is more about unlocking the right price point and hence bringing the affordable innovation in the market. And that is where we have seen almost like growth in very large double digit, almost 40% plus growth in certain market segments, just because we could innovate very affordable product for that market segment. So we have to address across the segments, really get real growth out of the innovation, and that is what I want to close with. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Satish. I actually have a question, but I think we need to move on to our friend Gopi Thangavel from Reliance. I'm sure in this panel, Gopi will have the last word, like his bosses have the last word in business. Your thoughts on innovation, and I'm sure there'll be enormous demand on your time and talent to come up with technologies relating to your company's massive and diversified operations. Will you share your thoughts with this wonderful audience on innovation? What have you done? What has it been its effect? And any new ideas in the pipeline? Please. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. Okay, the topic itself very interesting one. Innovation and sales and idea to market success. I like that one. So even we used to debate on that within our company itself. Regarding the marketing plus sales together. So finally, we used to debate, and sometimes many people not having that much clarity on why there is a sale, why there is a marketing. That time we used to give a clarity. For example, in the train, one guy saying, you want a tea, you want chai, or coffee, or whatever it is. It's a marketing. And one guy is asking, okay, give me a tea. Now he closed the sales. So when you talk about it, before whoever coming into the market, either it's a company or product or service, they try to solve the problem, right? So everybody want to solve the problem. So it's become a very successful. Like Amazon come and they solve many people problem, and Flipkart and each and every company come, Eureka come, very good solve the problem. But now the trend started to change slowly. Okay, solving the problem is the only product and services and company? No. How we can ensure the accessibility? So if you look at even 365, Microsoft 365, when Microsoft is not that great that time, they come up with a beautiful concept of 365. So it is able to reach to the people. They no need to invest so much, and they just need to enable the Teams or OneDrive or Outlook in easy way. And it is reached the market where a lot of people doesn't have access. Same like, Uber started in a way, many people talk about Uber, Netflix and everything, but Uber started only for the luxury category, just for the limo and everything. And in India that time, if you look at it, people not even, thinking or not going, majority people not going in taxi. It's a dream for many people. And which is not have access. They enable the access for the people, and people started to use it, and it is a great success. Similarly, Geo already know the story, where even in the nook and corner of the country, you have a Geo access now, Geo SIMs, Geo internet, data, whatever it is, it is enabling so much business in a different way. So how we can ensure that, the accessibility enable for the even who doesn't have access, I think that's the right key. And even in pandemic, we released certain product. If you look at it, there is a product called GeoMeet, who can do video conference similar like a Teams, Zoom, the same way, but added certain Indian flavor to that. And it is reached its big hit in that common and mid-class and medium-scale businesses because they don't need to pay anything, but at the same time they can make use of it. So if you look at that, that is the ideology of the innovation, I believe. Even you look at that, Reliance have multiple business, you know very well. I think no need introductory on that. Like either it's oil and gas or retail or ISP or life science or schools or universities or hospital. Even I'll tell you one emergency response we have for hospitals. Majority accident victims, they usually passed away or they will be in critical condition, the way they carry the accident victim. But what happened, there is a small app has been created. If you just take the app and look at the guy with the camera, okay, the body position is like that, his body is like this. So the doctor will instruct, okay, don't carry him, don't pull his arms, don't pull his leg, do it in this way. Immediately, almost 80% is saved there itself. So even the small innovation, which will help the people in a good way, definitely that is the right innovation. And how you can identify the right innovation in your own team? Who always disagree with you, who always argue with you. Then you know that, okay, you have a right innovation guy in your team. So you just need to encourage them, protect them, and enable them. So this is what normally we do that. So I believe let's give a little answer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very, very interesting. There are so many thoughts that are bothering me, but one big thought is, Kanika, do we have more time or we have already overshot the time?
Check.
Therefore, with due apologies to everyone, I just want to conclude this event. I want to thank each one of the panelists for sharing their thoughts. I only wish we had at least 15 or 20 minutes more, but that this is in the scheme of things. Let me say, I enjoyed hearing all the expert panelists. I'm sure you too. And let me end by saying good luck. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.